So, and that goes into the thing I was talking about where there was beef. Well, I come to find out, man, there was beef on the streets, man, between a lot of New York hustlers coming down here to DC. You know, if you guys don't know about Albo and all these cats that was coming down here from New York hustling and getting into it with DC hustlers, and there was, you know, a lot of warring, a lot of stuff. And I think that really, come to talking to the street dudes later, a lot of that affected the lens of how hip-hop, particularly New York hip-hop, was looked at back in the 90s. In particular, in the 80s it was different. It was a lot of collaborations because a lot of those old school cats, Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all them, they was using DC funk bands for the breaks. So you know about the Skull Snaps break, the Paid in Full and all, like that's all the, you know, Chuck Brown, Soul Searchers, all that. So a lot of them started finding out about the DC band, so they started collaborating. So that's when you had Curtis Blow and EU do the Party Time jump. You had Melly Mel do Trouble Funk, because Trouble Funk was on Sugar Hill. You know what I'm saying? Junkyard was on Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Sardines and Pork and Beans and The Word on the flip side was on Def Jam. And they was in the Tougher Than Leather movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hitting you with this history right now. Like, that's why it's important that we tie. DC has been involved since the beginning. Since the beginning, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, because a lot of the breaks, and that's why a lot of them older DJs, that's why Cool and Melly Mel are real tight. Because they understand, a lot of those Flash and them understand the importance of those DC bands. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until the 90s when things got tore up on the streets. And there was this, you know what I mean? There was this little bit of undercurrent, you know, and we was catching that. Because we was just into the music and the soul and rhyme and the freestyle. They was like, oh man, you doing that Bama New York stuff. Or you doing this or you doing that. And we was catching a lot of that. So a lot of the stuff that we did got ignored back then by us. But it got celebrated outside of here.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm gonna take a quick break though, I have to. But I love this beat right here. I'm gonna let this air out real quick for a second. Who's this? Again, see, that's what I'm saying. We'll be right back. It's on Beat with Olo.